Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is September 15th, and it is time for the market overview, looking at everything that we look at every single night. And starting off with the Dow, we said yesterday we had this giant spinning top, and although most of the secondaries were pointing up, it still was not exactly, everything perfect for going back up. We had the convergence of the short-term moving averages, but it was certainly able to be swayed in either direction. Well, we had the tell with the dollar last night that we covered, and that worked out today. We also had the NDE out of Europe, which was very positive. And so we have this giant, or good-sized green candle today. We have a crossover of the short-term moving averages. We're looking for expansion tomorrow. And before we enter the bar and put the hurt on it, that'll be fantastic. Should that occur, we're looking at a target round about, let's see here, we'd be looking at a target round about 1600, and actually, if I look at our potentials just for a second, it's actually more like 11,675, which would put us in the shadow zone of our previous peak. And we have postulated over the last few videos that getting up into this area, or even slightly above it, is our devilish zone, where we would be susceptible to a pullback of some sort. But certainly if this is going to be some massive rally, then it can blow through that. But once it gets to this level, I'm definitely going to be very, very cautious. Now, it should be noted that for the first time in I don't know how long now, we finally have all of our time frames agreeing with one another. Meaning, we have all of our secondaries climbing up on the daily. And on the 180, everything is getting really high and still marching up, actually, which is a really good sign. 60-minute, everything is high, and with the exception of the MACD starting to slope down, all of these are very positive. 30-minute, same thing, MACD sloping down, but actually getting a negative divergence. But other than that, everything looks really good. And here for several videos, it's been the dailies look good but the intraday doesn't, or the intraday looks good but the daily doesn't, and we don't really have that problem today, so that's great. Going along to the SPX, we have this little, it's either a channel or it's a bear flag. It's debatable. But if this channel holds true, we should be heading up towards the top of it. Would be about the 1250 area, and that definitely is the devilish zone, because once you hit that point, we're exceeding the shadows of the previous high. And if that's the point where the intradays roll over in a domino, then you'd have a pullback. Perhaps that is a test, a back test of the long-term moving averages. Perhaps it is a failure, but regardless, people getting in as we clear this would be the moment where it should have some sort of a pause or a pullback or a fail. So I would be very aware of that. And the secondaries in all time frames look really good, everything marching up, so I won't hash into that too much. The VIX got its nice little down move. Notice we are starting to have a single penetration of the long-term moving averages, and we have got complete crossover. Since this is just barely a touch, if we get a further down move into tomorrow, I would count that as full crossover and separation prior to entering the bar. So, if that were to happen, we'd be looking at a target around about 31, and from there we'll have to see what it does. Everything clicking down, everything. If we do get that full crossover and separation entering the bar, we will have a crossover of the middle Bollinger Band line very rapidly, and actually should be completed tomorrow if we get another decent sized move. Last time I checked, the futures were green, but they weren't, you know, like massively green or something like that, so that will be interesting. XOY, of course, followed down the SPX identically. Not much to say there. TNA ended with a hammer. It is not yet at the upper price consensus level. We do not have full crossover, and of course we don't have separation happening as of yet. Everything is ticking up, but once again, this is weaker than the Dow and the SPX. At least it has the intradays and the daily all looking positive. So we will see what happens with TNA. I definitely want it to go back to its previous greater movement, but we have to get out of this range and we have to overcome the devilish area. So we'll be watching and waiting for that. Our most important chart, UUP. We said yesterday we had the tell, we had the down tick, and even though everything else was really just right in the middle, could go either way, this was indicating to us that it was going to go down and equities are going to go up, and that did work out just marvelously. Notice we are getting the cross and the down move on all of our secondaries. Very good. We did end with a spinning top. We did not reach our down tick target, so there's still room to move, and maybe we'll get that tomorrow, maybe not, but we shall see. Certainly it should go down further. FXE, very nice little doji star. We have, let's see here, we have not met our uptick target by a good measure. We have to get back up to the 200-day moving average to do so, and everything ticking up with the exception of the 14-day RSI moving average. It is very low. It should not be there too long before it starts to loop up. So very nice for equities. GLD, our second VIX, gap down, big hit. We have a complete crossover. They're looking for separation. We are not yet at the major price consensus level. We have been saying that it would be completely natural for it to get down to that level, and it certainly looks like it's very possible that it's on its way to do that now, which will also be a bar retest. Everything clicking down. Notice the 14-day RSI moving average moving in lockstep with the fast and slow stochastics. So this move is completely correct. And SLV. Down move, once again we have complete crossover, we're getting separation. It did not do so completely prior to entering the bar, but there is not much of a bar to overcome. It almost kissed the major price consensus level today, backed away from it. Everything is clicking down. Notice on the stochastics there is not as much room for it to move as there is in gold, and that's about it. We have to wait and see if we're able to get back up into the previous high, test it, challenge it, and see if we get into the devilish zone. At that point, it'll really be a time to evaluate what the secondaries are saying. Of course, it'll be time to do that when it's challenging the prior peak, and of course we do that every single night here. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video are for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you.